So, you probably remember the name Flyby11. Maybe you used one of our builds to breathe life back into a forgotten laptop. Maybe you saw us bypassing restrictions like they were suggestions. Either way, if you're here now, you get it. But it's time for a change. A fresh name. A sharper edge. From this moment forward, Flyby11 becomes Flyoob. Why the change? Simple. This isn't just about slipping past Microsoft's security checks anymore. It's bigger, cleaner, smarter. We're still the same crew who said, no thanks to planned obsolescence. We just updated the logo. And let's be honest, Windows 11 didn't just raise the bar. It built a wall. A wall between you and your own hardware. No TPM 2.0? Blocked. CPU not on the list? Denied. But who said that list was gospel? Because that old PC on your desk? It's not slow. It's not outdated. It's just unapproved. And around here, unapproved doesn't mean unusable, it means underestimated. Flyoob isn't a workaround. It's a statement that we're not done with our machines just because Microsoft says so. That we don't throw away perfectly good tech for the sake of marketing cycles. You think that ancient ThinkPad can't run Windows 11? You think that dusty desktop from 2014 doesn't deserve one last ride? Think again. So yeah, new name. New energy. But the same core belief, your machine, your rules. Welcome to Flyoob. If you're on a Windows 10 PC and your computer doesn't match the requirements to upgrade to Windows 11, Microsoft would prefer that you purchase a new one. However, it's not your only option. Some people have come forward and devised ways to install Windows 11 on a PC while dodging the system requirement check, allowing any PC, TPM 2.0 or not, to use the operating system. And with Windows 10 falling out of support this coming October, we'll only see more and more people take that avenue. Upgrading to Windows 11 unofficially usually goes one of two ways. You use Rufus or Flyby11. And while the former makes things quick and easy, the latter path adds features to make the transition as smooth as possible. Now, Flyby11 is undergoing a transformation to help people upgrade to Windows 11, and it includes a name change. As spotted by NeoWin, Flyby11 has received a new update. Part of the patch involves a rename to Flyoob, pronounced Flyoob, because the app will begin giving people control over the OOBE, out-of-box experience. If you're not sure what an OOBE is, it's essentially what you experience when you install an operating system for the first time. It includes the setup screens, the tutorials, and the pre-installed apps that come with the system. Windows 11's OOBE is designed to introduce people to Microsoft's ecosystem, but the Flyoob team wants to give control to the user to change their OOBE to how they see fit. As the devs put it, Flyoob aims to skip the fluff, remove the junk, and give you full control from the very first boot. The transition from Flyby11 to Flyoob marks more than just a name change. It's the evolution of an idea, a sharpened philosophy in a world increasingly shaped by artificial restrictions and enforced obsolescence. Flyby11 began as a practical response to Microsoft's divisive rollout of Windows 11, a release that shocked the tech community with its unprecedented system requirements. It was the first time in Windows history that an operating system deliberately excluded millions of functioning PCs not due to performance limitations, but because they lacked a trusted platform module, TPM 2.0 chip, a specific generation of processors, or secure boot compatibility. For the average user, this created confusion and frustration. For enthusiasts, it ignited resistance. Computers that had powered families through school, creatives through projects, and businesses through tight budgets were suddenly labeled as unsupported, not because they were incapable, but because they didn't conform to a corporate vision of enforced upgrade cycles. That's where Flyby11 came in. It wasn't about hacking or exploiting, it was about restoring agency. It gave users a way to say, I know my hardware better than a requirements list written by a boardroom. Over time, as the community grew and tools matured, Flyby11 became synonymous with trust, reliability, and a deeper understanding of how Windows 11 works under the hood. But now, it's time to grow beyond just bypasses and workarounds. Enter flyoob. The name, flyoob, is inspired by OOBE, the out-of-box experience, that first moment when Windows greets you, asking for your name, your preferences, your fingerprint. But what if you could take that moment back? Not just from the system, but from the companies that try to define what your first experience should be. Flyoob represents a complete philosophy, to give unsupported systems the same seamless, polished, clean out-of-box experience as the latest certified devices. It's not just about slipping past checks anymore, it's about offering stability, security, and performance to users Microsoft has ignored. Flyoob is rooted in deep research, community source testing, and an ethos that prioritizes freedom of choice. It challenges the growing culture of forced upgrades, cloud dependency, and device turnover. It asserts that ownership means control, not just over data, but over what runs on your machine and when. And while Microsoft may suggest that unsupported systems are unstable or dangerous, the truth is far more nuanced. Flyoob ensures that these systems run lean, clean, and efficient by integrating safe registry edits, streamlined installation flows, and compatibility tweaks that preserve full OS functionality without sacrificing stability. At its core, Flyoob is also a commentary on the times. In an age when sustainability and right to repair are becoming global conversations, it's irresponsible to discard perfectly usable hardware simply because it doesn't fit a corporate roadmap. Millions of devices that would end up as e-waste can be reimagined into powerful workstations, media centers, or educational tools with nothing more than the right knowledge and intent. Flyoob embodies this shift, offering not just a way to keep using your old hardware, but a reason to. It's for the person who still loves their aging ThinkPad, who can't let go of their custom-built desktop, who finds joy in maximizing what they already own. It's for those who refuse to buy a new machine every time the software world decides to redraw the line. With Flyoob, the idea is simple. Compatibility is a matter of care, not capability. And while the industry continues to sell new, as synonymous with better, we'll continue to prove that with the right tools, the so-called outdated can still outlast expectations. Flyoob isn't a hack. It's a decision, a stance, a movement. It's the freedom to run modern software on your terms, and the future of personal computing, where users take back control, one unsupported install at a time. And that brings us to the end of this journey, not just through a Windows 11 install, but through something much bigger. If you've made it this far, then you're not just curious. You're someone who believes, like we do, that good tech shouldn't be thrown out just because someone in a boardroom decided it was time to move on. Thanks for watching. Thanks for trusting the process. And most of all, thanks for believing in what Flyoob stands for. This isn't goodbye, it's just the end of one boot sequence before the next begins.